Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4 hour. As you can see, we have properly broken down underneath this old support, new resistance level, and are currently basically we're currently back testing the underside of it. So this obviously looks like a forward check, a back check, and a pay check opportunity, in much the same way this was like a forward check, a back check, and a pay check opportunity. So obviously that can obviously err us on the side of bearishness, and we should be, whilst we are under this resistance level, clearly this is going to be a formidable area for us to get back above, to basically break back above 58.5. Only about just over $1,500 away, but obviously it is an area fraught with difficulty, and it would be quite easy for Bitcoin just to roll over here, come back down, take out these lows. Obviously, with these lows being so close to this 55, the low basically been 55.5, been close to the 55 level of support. Taking out these lows, coming down from here could very easily just trigger a smashing straight through this level, and then we're actually looking at the next level as this trend line as a potential catch point. So to be honest, that could not be a very deep move if we break below, and yeah, if we do come down and take this low, that would be the first potential level that Bitcoin could get caught. If not, failing that, we are looking at into the 52Ks. So obviously, as it stands, as it has been standing for a few days now, Bitcoin has a bearish posture and a bearish bias. But all it needs to do to negate that is basically get back above 58.5, close some 4-hour candles above there, and then we will be obviously looking like this is going to be the low for this move, and the higher low overall in the context of the trend. And obviously this higher low coming in a lot higher than it could have done is clearly a sign of bullishness, if that is to be the case. And then yeah, I mean, we would probably expect us to take out 60k and then start potentially potentially testing for new highs. So that is kind of how I'm looking at. We're bearish until we aren't. We are at a relative inflection point. Well, not necessarily inflection point, because obviously we can get rejected anywhere between here and 58,500, and still obviously just look like a clear rejection, and then obviously lower targets. But we are giving this a go. Bitcoin is giving this a go. So obviously. We've got a chance of getting above here, but it is obviously looking textbook. If you remove any like inherent crypto bullish bias and just look at the chart, this certainly does have more of a downwards posture for sure. Ethereum Bitcoin, as you can see here, it did basically drop out of its ascending channel. I think yesterday we were pretty much looking at it was knocking on the door, and then subsequently broke below. Obviously the target of an ascending channel is basically the low of the start of the channel, which is down here, which is basically where we got to. So we've hit that target and now looking to try and make our way back up, obviously back above this horizontal too. So realistically we want to get back above this trend line and back up mainly above this horizontal, so basically above 0.036. And then we could be looking good for a real test into this zone here, to see if we can get through it. Ethereum USD came back and very nicely back tested our level that we had drawn in from here. Very nicely tested that, and yeah, looking to try and break back above here, but clearly this will be a level fraught with peril for Ethereum. An inflection point for Ethereum USD here, break above here, and we will be looking good, looking bullish again for onwards and upwards, get rejected here and come down, and then we could certainly be looking like certainly looking like we put in a medium term high here. I'm going to come and test some downside, and that downside could bring us down to this trend line. Whatever point in time we meet it will obviously then dictate what level it is at. Or we have got some horizontals. Obviously we've got some horizontals. Obviously this one we previously tested that we could get caught at. The price action could get caught at. Oops, didn't mean to do that. We don't really need to extend this one along anyway. But yeah, so Ethereum US dollar. Yeah, I mean obviously has to have a bearish bias here until we break back above this level. So it's pretty similar with Bitcoin. Obviously Ethereum closer to that level, and Ethereum BTC as well. Ethereum BTC not looking as bad as either of those, but yeah, I mean if it gets above here, this is looking clear upside incoming. But yeah, the main level for Ethereum BTC was this level to get back above, which it has done. Bitcoin dominance had obviously a nice pullback with Bitcoin pulling back as you would expect. Yeah, back up towards our horizontal that we had drawn in here, and rejected from that and continuing down as it stands. So yeah, that obviously looking bearish. Stock markets overall looking good though. These looking good. I mean, I believe this is potentially what is dragging Bitcoin up, even though it wants to test more downside, making Bitcoin look more bullish, putting in a higher low than it necessarily needed to, putting that low higher than you maybe have expected, because it is getting dragged up by stocks. And obviously the DXY, well, the DXY is losing its full bullish trajectory. So people will not be necessarily looking at this as onwards and upwards, and be obviously having to factor in the fact that this could then now start coming back down again. And like we have said, we've got these horizontals to take out before we do definitely start to look like this will be a local high. Let's have a look at silver. Obviously silver is liking this pullback in the dollar and also this pullback in the 10-year. So if we go back over to silver, yeah, you can see silver looking like looking like it wants to try and test some upside. You can kind of see we've got a trend line in here, which we're testing. We are very sternly testing here and get back above, and I would expect an acceleration to the upside. Then we've got this horizontal to take out, and then we'll be looking very good for silver again. Let's have a look at a silver miner that someone in the group asked to look at. We will go to our gold silver miners and go to our mag silver. So yeah, we'll do like a little bit of a deep dive into this. I mean, the main thing that you can see on this on the daily is that we have pretty much this important level. If I extend this along all the way over to here, and all the way along here, this important level that we have, oops, wrong one, that we have been supported at a number of times, and we've have nicely bounced off it this time. So whilst ever we are above there, I mean, you can see it extends back to over here as well. It is basically an important level. Here we go. Let's get this. Let's get the right thing. Yeah, we'll extend this along. This is an important level for this asset, and it has basically been holding price action above it, albeit with some quite a few back tests. We also have got basically this level here as well, around, well, just below 1800. So realistically, these are the targets. We are basically in a bit of a range here, as you can see. Range, we are in this range, as you can see. Some wicks above, some price action above, but failed back below, tested the bottom end of the range. So realistically for this, we're looking at basically once we get above here, I mean, the amount of times we got above here, I would suggest that the next time we've got a high likelihood of continuation onwards and upwards. It obviously will pretty much depend on what silver is doing itself, but and obviously if we lose this level, then we'll be looking at more downside. I mean, obviously this being the next level to target. So, but all in all, if we do look at this on a weekly, if you look at it on a weekly, you can see it is relatively constructive. We've got low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher low. Obviously this crazy, this is obviously a weekly, obviously this crazy obviously dump that we know what happened in March last year, but now putting in a higher high. So this could, this area, this level could is a good level to be a higher low, and a good level for us to bounce and then continue on basically upwards, onwards and upwards. So yeah, I mean that is a longer term, is looking good. Is looking a good level, well, a good level for a high, a low risk, high reward trade, where obviously you can have your stop below here, basically buy now, have your stop below here, and then target literally a blue sky breakout. So that would be a good risk reward trade. Obviously you can move your stops up as price action goes up. But yeah, obviously this has been suffering in the face of rising bond yields and a rising dollar. So if they are to reverse, then this is very likely going to give this a nice move to the upside. So yeah, there's some silver miners for you. Yeah, back to Bitcoin, and back to these stochastics. Are they going to help us get above that 58.5k? 4 hour actually is going to give us a bit of juice here. So 4 hour could potentially give us a bit of a hand, a bit of a helping hand. 10 hour, how is 10 hour looking? Is it going to load up? Yeah, I mean 10 hour still coming down, but looking like it could turn if we do hold around here. 4 hour basically can get us to hold the level we're at. 10 hour could turn back up and start to get a bit of a nice move. 12 hour also could start to turn back up, is looking like it wants to. Daily though, plenty of room to run to the downside, and 2 day a bit indecisive, but not looking too bad. So realistically the 4 hour, the 10 hour and the 12 hour I think could overrule the daily on this one, and it does give us a potential bullish bias, providing those 10 hour and 12 hour do turn up and start to move up. If they do, then yeah, I definitely if they do that, then yeah, I think we will be breaking above 58.5 and be looking good again. And then obviously daily would turn back up then as well. We'll be looking golden, and then we'll be looking for a move basically into this deep into the 60Ks. But yeah, I mean it pretty much depends on what happens here. Can we hold under this level, or do we get rejected and come cascading back down? So yeah, we really got to watch out what's going on here. Yeah, I mean that is it. There's not too much else to say really. At the moment we are basically operating within this level here, this wider range, with the top half of it looking to break back above. If we do, great. If we get rejected, then we have realistically got to be looking at, we're going to be taking out this low, which will probably trigger a move through 55k, and then we're looking at either this trend line or into the 52ks for the next buying opportunity potentially. And also don't forget, even if we do come as deep as this, even if just on a wick basis we tap it or we get front ran, we are still considerably higher than this low of 50.5k. So it will still be printing a higher low in this overall wider trend, and would still be overall macro bullish, and still wouldn't be looking too bad at all. So yeah, we are still macro bullish, plenty of room to the downside to come and test and turn around and still be looking good. But have we just turned around here? I mean, is this how bullish this market is at the moment? I would suggest that it is stock markets, the 10-year easing off and the dollar easing off, that have basically facilitated a particularly aggressive higher low here, and that could certainly be the higher low, and we can now be going onwards and upwards to higher highs now. But yeah, we just got to play it level by level basically. So yeah, that is it guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.